Hello. My name is Captain Tyrion Guidel, and welcome to another thrilling installment of All Influencer Wrestling.
Representing Chaos from Valhalla, the Tank.
Kicking things off, we have a brand new debuting clout chaser who is facing off against the returning Battlestar Galactica. Our newest clout chaser is going to have their work absolutely cut out for them against Val, tank maining through the opposition. As we kick through, we have a hell of a show set for you tonight. Two title defenses, Abel Theron defending the Soul Clout Championship against Renace Crimson, who earned that opportunity last week despite a somewhat contentious match finish. And we have our newly crowned first ever $1 million champion, Jennifer Astorio, defending against Aria Night Valley. Meet Kiri, another old acquaintance of mine from back in the days. Something of a information broker, adept in the ways of both samurai arts and red magic. She has made her way here to All Influencer Wrestling in chase of clout. Someone who tends to do their research against their opponents. She's definitely going to have read up on Battlestar. But no amount of preparation can prepare you for that tank main methodology. We really do here have a battle of different approaches, and Val immediately taken down with that spring off the top rope. Kiri the type to carefully research and plan out a strategy against her opponent, whereas Val tends more to charge straight in and just bludgeon the way through. Just baiting Kiri there over in the corner, who is more than happy to rise to the challenge. Ducking out of the way of a clothesline attempt from Valstar, sending her over that top rope. Val hanging on even after that clubbing blow. A second, Val still hanging on the net, and finally Val gets knocked down, Kiri following through to the outside. Quick striking blows, and up and over. Kiri very clearly has indeed done that homework on Battlestar, knows how to counter, but a quick boot to the head will derail any of the best laid plans. And Double running full body strikes from Kerry, ducks under, and a big Pele kick there from Kerry. She is very much out to prove herself in this opening match. But Battlestar, not an opponent that's going to go down easily. If there is one thing Val has, it's a whole lot of tenacity. And just chucking at Kiri around the ring, and with that roaring taunt, firing up. Elbow drop, crashing down, and look at the cockiness of that pin. Just a one, but that was very much a message being sent there by Battlestar. Took a moment to consider the best approach there and gave Kiri enough time for a quick back elbow, and as she goes off that top rope again, swinging DDT, taking Val down to the canvas. Kiri going for the pin herself now. Only enough for a 2 count. Battlestar powering out. Strike from Battlestar, grabs around the waist of Kiri, hoisting her up, and down she goes. The power of Battlestar on full display. Another big crushing elbow drop down onto the face. And followed by a boot as well. And then just grinding into the canvas. This disrespectful side of Battlestar coming out right now. Irish whips Kiri into the ropes, and big swinging slam there. Ref almost getting caught by that, I think, a little bit. Hoist up by the collar there. The power of Battlestar. Took a bit to get into this match, but she is very much now on a dominant streak. Once that tank starts rolling, it is very difficult to stop it. But Kiri coming through into the roll-up. One. Didn't get that, but that was a big needed momentum shift in this match. Val just charging through our Mithran Mage at this point, and big swinging arm there from Battlestar. Val going up to the top rope and corkscrew spin off the top. Kiri looks like she does not know where she is. But you could hear the crash as Val goes down to the mat with that. Kiri rolling to the outside to recover for a little bit. Val back up to that top rope. Big flying elbow drop from the top down onto the prone Kiri. That was not the recovery she was hoping for. Hoisted back up, able to get a leg drag there. Kiri trying to get the shift in momentum. What's she having in mind here? Oh, and she has that clutch locked in. But on the outside of the ring, that's not going to help her. Val just powering back up, driving Kiri down to that wooden ship's decking on the side of the ring. Still though, even though that would not have been able to end the match out there, that was quite an amount of time to have that locked in. Val not able to properly breathe for the duration. That's going to have quite the impact. Speaking of impact, another series of big strikes from Battlestar as the ref's count reaches 7. Val returning back into the ring, leaving Kiri staggered, dazed on the outside. Sliding back out, breaking that ref count. Val is not going to want this to end via count out. Running clothesline sends Kiri down to the deck. Able to capture, though. That time Val took to break the ref's count did give Kiri a moment to recover, but not long enough, perhaps. Able to dodge under that blow. Sends Kiri not quite into the ring steps, but hurtling down to the deck. Took a moment there to find the right angle, but a series of elbow drops down into the neck of Kiri. Hauling her back up. Val at this point really just picking up the pieces. Needs to get Kiri back into the ring. And does exactly that. Hauls her opponent back through. And we're seeing Val back up top again. An aerodynamic Val we are seeing today. Really going up to space time and time again. Going again for that pinfall. And she is down. Kiri, welcome to All Influencer Wrestling. Your hazing, courtesy of Battlestar Galactica, has been given. We see in the replay that corkscrew early in the match, really that shift in momentum that Val then followed through. Flying elbow drop to the spine of Kiri, enough to get that 3 count at the end.
Here is your winner,
What a return showing from Battlestar Galactica. Not been seen since Clash for Charity. We will definitely have to see where Kiri's fortunes in AIW take her from here on out. Hopefully not too disheartening for our next debuting Clout Chaser. We are rolling right into a secondary debut match. Switching over to the other side of the roster, we'll be right back with a second debuting Clout Chaser after these quick messages. We'll be right back.
Luz tried everything to open the door, but it wouldn't budge. Hammers, axes, magic, saws, more magic, fire, even more magic, and magic explosions. Still, the door refused her. Why? After all this time and effort, why wouldn't the damn thing open? Sure, it was an enchanted door that would open the path to a potentially catastrophic amount of magic pouring back into the universe, causing endless natural disasters that would drown or bury most cities from existence. But there was an equally high chance that wouldn't happen, and that the magic had been sealed away by ignorant fools for nothing. She had to believe there was a reason why she could tap into a sliver of the magic locked behind the door. That this was it, her singular life purpose. Open the door, restore its magic back to everyone like it used to be in the stories, where anyone could use magic, for good or bad. That had to be it, right? That had to be why she was standing here, in the door's pocket dimension, on a small plot of Earth, large enough for only one person to stand in front of it, swearing at this void black door with iridescent veins flowing along its surface like water, living, taunting her to just open it already. So why was it so hard to swing the damn thing wide? Somehow, she had shoved the door apart just a crack ages ago. A thin, wispy line of light seeped out of a seam down the center. Whenever she used teleportation magic, as she had decided to call it since she didn't know the correct term and hadn't seen others use it before, probably because it was dangerous and required sliding through space and time, but who was counting? She tapped into a sliver of warmth and power to travel wherever she wished. She'd managed that slight opening unthinking as a child, then never again. What was she doing wrong now? Worse, what if she wasn't doing anything wrong? What if this door wasn't meant to open for her after all? What else could there be for her but this? After everything, after all that searching, what else could there be?
This has been an extract from The Void Door by V. M. Ayala.
To read the full story, please visit beneath-ceaseless-skies.com and search for issue 378. And thank you for watching Masterpiece Theatre.
And we are back, kicking things off for our second debut match. Our first entrant actually debuted last week in a match against Big Magic Reynolds, did not have the greatest luck in their debut performance, so getting a second chance to establish themselves here in AIW. Gabriel Van Hessel, the Witch Hunter, making his way down to the ring to greet our newest clout chaser. Van Hessel put up a impressive showing against Big Magic Reynolds, but was unable to put the Artificer back in the lab. We'll see how they do now that they've got a little bit of experience inside the ship's ring. Will that carry them through to be able to put away our newest clout chaser, who will be their opponent tonight? Or will this opponent's ability to have watched Van Hessel's debut match allow them an extra level of research and insight into their opponent that Gabriel does not have? All the way from Vatican City here to the AIW ring, hunting witches and chasing clout, is Gabriel Van Hessel. But what is his opponent going to have to say about it?
His opponent from Truth or Consequences, New Mexico, weighing in at 200 pounds, the X-Factor.
Sevius Doom coming out going, you have a mask, I've got a mask too. And I've got a pipe. Well, unlike Van Hessel, Servius does not wrestle in that mask. And we are locking up in the middle of the ring. Sevius Doom out of the gate. Those quick strikes, clothesline to knock down the Van Hessel. Doom very much looking to get a dominant showing, explosive right out of the gate. Not a moment to breathe for Van Hessel. Doom is not going to allow the Witch Hunter to turtle up. He is not going to allow him to get his defenses up. He is stalking the Witch Hunter. Van Hessel rolls out the way though. Big drop kick, scouted and blocked by Doom. Another series of quick strikes. Very much a striker-type combatant is Sevius Doom, not a extensively technical approach. He is all about getting the job done quickly and with as quickly delivered pain as possible, although he is not above a quick slam down to the mat. Van Hessel getting absolutely dominated by our newly debuted Sevius Doom. Slams Van Hessel's back down onto the mat. Of course, as we just saw in that last match, an opening performance doesn't mean anything if the momentum shifts too heavily. We saw that last match, with Battlestar getting absolutely dominated by Kiri in the opening matches, only to completely shift that momentum around and pick her opponent apart for the second half of the match. Will Van Hessel be able to manage a similar turnaround, or is this just Doom's playground at this point? Cracking the arm of Van Hessel, sending him into the table. Very close to a count out, though, is Doom paying attention. He just barely made that back in time, almost knocked out the ref too. Breaks the count. Was wondering if Sevius Doom was going to go for a count-out victory there. He probably could have claimed one, honestly. But no, sends Van Hessel back into the ring. He doesn't want to rely on a pure count-out victory for his debut match. He does not want to win like that. He wants that pinfall or submission. Quick elbow strike from Van Hessel, though, and blow across the chest. And those strikes, this is what I was talking about. Van Hessel now starting to fire up. Tying Sevius up into the ropes. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And a blow to the back of the head to finish those clubbing blows tied up into the rope. Van Hessel now very much in the position of power, and he's got that clutch locked in, choking the air out of Sevius Doom. Sevius able to power out, wrenches that arm away, breaking that grip. Gasping, trying to get the oxygen flowing back into his body that was just cut off for far too long. Again, kicks out of that attempt. What does Van Hessel have in mind here? Up, and a big power slam sends Doom down to the mat. Very, very near fall. Sevius Doom dug deep and found a way to kick out of that one, but anything more like that, he is not going to be able to take much more punishment. Van Hessel up to the top, and big leap going for that second pinfall attempt. Is that going to do it? No. Only a 1. Doom recovering slowly, but not enough to get back into the match. Blow to the leg there by Van Hessel. Just hip tossing Sevius over into the corner. Bounces off the ropes, and big scoop slam. Van Hessel now the one very dominant in this match. Sevius had that knee drop scouted, rolls out of the way. Is that going to be his momentum shift? Big overhand double axe blow. Now his strikes back elbow to that masked face of Gabriel Van Hessel. Kick to the gut, overhead punch. Now Sevius bounces Van Hessel off, running strike, launches Van Hessel into the corner, knee strike, knee strike, knee strike, biting the back of the mask of Van Hessel. And giant big boot by Sevius. 1, 2, Van Hessel kicks out. Van Hessel still in this match. 2.5, 2.999. The Holy Spirit surging through Van Hessel, hoists Doom back up over his shoulders. This Witch Hunter has not been put away yet. Sends Sevius into the corner now, and a giant hell of a kick from Van Hessel. And up and big power slam into that pinning predicament. 1, 2, that has to be at 3. Van Hessel puts Sevius away. So we see that choke getting locked in, a big turning point. The big boot by Sevius Doom, followed by the power slam. Tried to pull that through. Not enough though. Slam through into the pin by the Witch Hunter. Gabriel Van Hessel claiming his first victory here in AIW. Still though, a powerful showing by Sevius Doom, dominating the first half of that match, both of our debuts. Unable to put the opponent away, but have nothing to be ashamed of. Solid performances by both. But we have plenty more action here tonight on AIW. Next up, we are in tag team action. They have been dominant ever since their arrival here in All Influencer Wrestling. The Dangerous Alliance continue their showing of a tag performance in the women's division. Will they go 3 for 3? Or will their opponents tonight be able to put an end to the Dangerous Alliance's path of terror? We'll be right back to find out in just a couple of... Hi, I'm Captain Turiant Guidel, most dashingly handsome pirate in all of Loomsolominsa, and the Clout Missioner of All Influencer Wrestling. As a swashbuckling pirate, I know a thing or two about hats. And sometimes, even I feel the hats I own are just too big. So when I feel the need for minuscule millinery, there's only one place that comes to mind. TinyHatLabs.com. Tiny Hat Labs have always sought to push the boundaries of what's possible in client engagement millinery feedback solutions. Their guiding question remains the same today as it was when they were founded. What if small hat, but tiny? Operating at the nexus of science, engineering, artificial intelligence, art, fashion and design, Tiny Hat Labs seeks to pave the way to a paradigm shift in headpiece technology. While others ask, how much? TinyHatLabs.com asks, how little? I'm Captain Turiant Guidel, and TinyHatLabs.com is my favourite place for hats on the internet. Okay, I just murdered Vegeta with a truck. What the hell is this game? And she came down the stairs, breast in boobily.
I wasn't ready. Woo, that was good.
Nope. I looked at the map, went, where's the boss? Oh, it's that way, and immediately went in the wrong direction. If that is not a perfect example of my sense of direction, I don't know what is. You're the new farmer. I see. No offense, but you look like you've never held a tool in your life. Excuse me, Jim. I am well adept at holding my tool. Thank you very much.
The Soul Guardian, not me.
The God Emperor made me do it!
The God Emperor made me do it. Yes. Oh, can I get away with yelling that in real life, please? And we are back once again. And here they come. The Dangerous Alliance making their way down to the ring, looking to continue this reign of dominance they have been showing since their arrival here in AIW.
On the way to the ring, the Dangerous Alliance!
Calypso and Teresa Dominguez. This team of sisters proving to be an incredible force to be reckoned with. The team last week of Presri and Valoran put up an impressive showing but was unable to put a stop to the chain of victories these two have started racking up. No other combination in the division really has the breadth of experience that these two have. Nonetheless, we do have a couple of friends making their way down now who think they can be the ones to play spoiler to the twins.
And their opponents, first from New York,
When you want to heighten the drama, you find an opera singer. Her Royal Highness the Ginger Flame, she who sings on the graves of her enemies. Nobody tell her I stumbled the titles. Making her way down to the ring, another fresh debut from last week, this time in tag action. Thus far undefeated. Granted, she's only had the one match, but she will absolutely tell you she is undefeated in AIW competition. And from the other side of the style spectrum, her partner.
and from Colorado, Holiday.
Candy Holiday. Teaming with our operatic virtuoso. Less than thrilled to have not advanced in the $1 Shillion tournament. How will Candy and the Ginger Flame work as a duo? Will the Ginger Flame be able to share the stage with Candy Holiday? And will these two be able to put away the bond of the twins of the Deadly Alliance? Dangerous Alliance, I'm sorry. Let's see how this plays out. Starting out with the Ginger Flame and Calypso. One thing that might play an interesting aspect in this match is during that match last week against Presri and Valoran, Teresa did sustain a slight injury. Not enough to keep her from competition, but still bothering her somewhat in this match. So as the damage is piling up, will that be something that the Ginger Flame and Candy are able to parlay into a advantage for them? This time does make sense as a strategy for the Dominguez twins to have Calypso do the bulk of the work in this match, but Ginger Flame very much strong out the gate, tags in Candy Holiday. Ducks under a low, but able to get it on the counter there by Calypso. Big attempt for a dropkick off the top rope. Candy able to dodge out the way, sends Calypso to the outside of the ring. Considered following through, decides to instead take a moment to just club away, grabbing Teresa. Clearly, Candy watching the tape, knowing that these two have a strong ability to protect each other in the ring. By taking Teresa out of the equation, Candy has created an incredible opening for her team. Strike to the blow as Calypso is sent bouncing off. Another elbow to the face now, and at that moment to taunt. Moves over, tags in the Ginger Flame. Meanwhile, Teresa seems to have recovered. Attempted to go for, I believe, some sort of a large kick there, but Calypso able to counter, just sent the Ginger Flame down to the floor. I'm sure she will say she absolutely intended to do that, and oh, look at that, bouncing, working that injured neck of Teresa, and a big dashing strike across the waist there. Candy getting, look at that teamwork. Candy taking the opportunity while the ref was distracted to land a quick blow there on the back of Teresa, and again, Ginger Flame working the neck. Able to power out with a little bit of assistance from Calypso. Ref needs to get that ring cleared, and does so. Looks up, and big suplex from Ginger Flame to Teresa. Now sandwiched between these two, a position she very much does not need to be in. Just pounding Teresa off the mat, going for the pinfall. Candy moving into position to cut off Calypso, not able to make it in time. Calypso is able to get in there to break up that pinfall. Teresa sends Candy hurtling over the side of the ring before making her own exit. Taunting against Candy, but not paying attention to what's happening to her sister in the middle of the ring. Big splash off the top there by Ginger Flame. And another neck breaker. Meanwhile, Candy and Calypso going at it on the outside of the ring as Ginger Flame goes through, able to kick out. Calypso finally realized what was going on into that ring a little bit too late. Teresa able to power out that grapple and there again, that quick strike. Coming from Candy Holiday to the back of Teresa, she is capitalizing on any opportunity she has to inflict that little bit extra damage to her opponent. Pounding, trying to rip the tiara off of the Ginger Flame, who kips up, able to catch it, arms wrapped around the waist, strike to the top of the spine. And again, sends Teresa Dominguez over the top, rolls out after. Just kicking dirt over Teresa, the disrespect shown by the Ginger Flame towards her opponent. Grapples up, and over she goes, crashing down onto that wooden ship decking, unforgiving. That's going to leave a mark. As is crashing her face down into it as well. Sends Teresa back into the ring. She's going to have to move quickly so that Teresa doesn't have the opportunity to go make that tag. Although I think, does she have something in mind here? No. Maybe was considering going up for Calypso there, but did not make it in time. Teresa able to make that tag. Her sister, now the legal participant. But Ginger Flame keeping that momentum very much going. Big drop down. The twins are struggling in a way that we have not seen happen in their time here in the promotion. Candy now legal, and there's that big flying punch off of the ropes. Big boots to the face of Calypso Dominguez. Teresa still very much stunned on the outside. If these two can put the match away quickly, this is going to be quite the opportunity for them. Teresa not in a position to break up a pinfall attempt right now. What does Candy have in mind? Going up to the middle rope as Calypso hauls herself back up and double-handed axe slam over. Big DDT to the mat, although Teresa has now recovered. Able to kick out at 2. Both Teresa and Ginger Flame make it. Candy not happy about that. Grapples with Teresa before she can leave the ring. Sends over the top rope, returning her attention back to Calypso. Goes for the tag. Ginger Flame is now legal. Oh, roll up by Calypso. Not enough. Ginger Flame able to get a kick out only at 1, but that is going to change the psychological makeup of the match. Interesting strategy there by Ginger Flame, baiting Calypso outside of the ring. Calypso, though, able to counter the grapple attempt, as was Ginger Flame, though. Strike Calypso in the gut, and again, those sharp knee blows. Watching around, perhaps trying to identify where Teresa is. Going back in. Candy, meanwhile, dropping off the corner, taking a moment of distraction to grapple with Calypso while she's on the outside. Sends her back into the ring where the Ginger Flame is waiting. Grapples and hoists her. Look at the power of the Ginger Flame. Big power slam there. Impressive teamwork by these two. Though taking a moment to bask in the adulation of the audience, Calypso crawling for her sister, able to do it behind the back of the Ginger Flame. Now, a little too late, realizing that Teresa is legal. Is that moment of basking in the adulation of the crowd going to cost this team dearly? That's the problem with partnering with an opera singer. They can't resist the crowd. Submission maneuver locked in, but Candy easily able to go in and break that up. Teresa practically in a 2-on-1 situation right now. Up and big overhead slam sends Ginger Flame flying. I think she glanced for her sister there for a moment, only to realize there's nobody in that other corner. Teresa, an island unto herself right now in this ring. Not that it's going to let her bother her. Look at that taunt towards Candy there on the outside of the ring. Kip up by the Ginger Flame. Got knocked right back down again by Teresa. Candy Holiday desperate for that tag. Just reaching out, waiting, and big running knee to the head of Ginger Flame. Teresa tagging back in Calypso. Candy needs to get back into this match. Ginger Flame rolls out the way. Big running clothesline though by Calypso Dominguez. Seems to have something in mind, waiting for Ginger Flame to get back to her feet. What's she got planned? Look at that big back elbow drop, and over she goes. Ginger Flame is stunned. Going for that 1, 2. That may well be it. No, Ginger Flame powers out. Barely able to make the 3 count. Look at the look of fury in the Ginger Flame's eyes there, nursing that jaw. Calypso tying Ginger Flame up, going for some form of submission maneuver perhaps. I was wondering if she was going to be too close to the ropes there for a rope break, but grabbing the arms like that. Slowly crawling her way back over, but... And now the taunting by Calypso. Can the Ginger Flame make the tag? Tags in Teresa. Ginger Flame barely able to move in the center of this ring. Desperately needs to get to Candy to make that tag. Able to get a little bit of momentum back. Sends Teresa into the ropes, and not able to deliver a blow. Look at the way Teresa just bounced off, but now it's her time to get that taunting to give Ginger Flame time to go and make that tag. Candy Holiday now legal. Just waiting, watching Teresa. Only a 1 count. But Candy saying, do not underestimate me, and that boot really reinforcing the point. The full stop on that sentence. What does Candy have in mind? Shifting around. Tags back in Ginger Flame. Big slap, strike, and big scoop slam from Ginger Flame sends Teresa back down into the center of the ring. Moving around to the legs. Teresa able to power out. Strike to the throat of the Ginger Flame. Baits her in. Ducks under. Kick and strike. Quick striking combination. Sweeps the leg. Ginger Flame is down, runs around, tags. No, I thought she was going for the tag to Calypso, but no, going up to the top rope instead. Thinks better of it and does indeed tag in Calypso. Lots of damage done to Teresa herself at this point, maybe thinking better of that top rope maneuver. Ginger Flame, meanwhile, what does she have in mind? Locking in that figure 4 leg lock. Can she bridge it? Although Teresa is right there. Teresa getting involved with the ref. Oh, Calypso able to reverse the pressure. Ref very angry. Sends Teresa back out. Teresa almost getting her team disqualified there, I think, by spending too long in the ring. And there's the tag. Not a problem anymore. Teresa Dominguez now the legal twin. Snap down to the mat goes the Ginger Flame. Ginger Flame really needs to share center stage at this point. Candy Holiday waiting there in her team's corner. She needs to get in. She is by far the fresher of these two competitors now. Giant slam. Ginger Flame rolls out of the ring to take a moment to recover whilst the Dominguez twins tag once again. Calypso is once again legal. Not sure Ginger Flame even realizes which of them is legal at this point. She looks like she is seeing stars on the outside, and I don't just mean her own reflection. But there goes that power again, hoisting Calypso up and slamming her spine down onto that ship's deck. Ginger Flame turning her attention to Teresa, sent her into the ropes there, stunning her out. Is she able to capitalize? With one twin down, this is their opportunity. It would be a very good moment to tag in Candy, but Ginger Flame not wanting to share the spotlight. Spear. Lands the spear. Can she follow through? Is she going to follow through? Goes for the pinfall attempt. 1, 2... They've done it. They've done it. The Ginger Flame and Candy Holiday putting an end to the undefeated streak of the Dangerous Alliance. Though you really have to give credit where credit is due. The Ginger Flame really, for better or for worse, carrying that match for her team on the latter half, refusing to tag out, refusing to give Candy Holiday that moment in the spotlight. But seems to work out. What does that mean for the future of this growing tag division in all-influencer wrestling? But speaking of the future of AI dub, we have upcoming a pair of matches, qualifiers. We are building towards the dropping of the drama bomb. I will explain exactly what the drama bomb is and how it's going to work during the first of these two qualifying matches we have tonight. The first of which is a grudge match. He's still furious. He is still out for revenge. Chris Caneas seeking payback for the injuries delivered to Stephen Joyce, who is still out recovering after his marathon performance at Clash for Charity. He is out to inflict punishment and humiliation upon Steve Sparks. Chris Caneas versus Steve Sparks, qualifying match for the drama bomb. We'll be right back in just a few moments for that. Suplex the train! Himbo power! Come on. Need to pop more potions. Meteor strike! Oh, I can't suplex it. Oh, yeah, that's right. I can suplex a train, but I can't suplex an octopus. And here is our octopus friendo. Can I suplex an octopus? Nope. Can't suplex an octopus, turns out. Too slippery. Can I suplex Ultima Weapon? So going to start chucking some shuriken. I can suplex Ultima Weapon. Come on. We're so close. Lift. Come on, Sabin. Come on. Suplex! Boom! Hippo power! And we are back.
Activating combat mode.
Increasingly reckless behavior we have been seeing by Chris Caneas of late as he charges down to the ring, ready to try to inflict harm upon Steve Sparks. Called out Sparks and Brock in a 2-on-1 match. Did not work out for him, but this is his chance to stop Sparks from proceeding through to the eventual drama bomb match. As he makes his way to the ring, allow me to take a moment to explain to you precisely what the drama bomb is. We are going to be having a series of qualifying matches to eventually wind with 7 participants in each. There will be 2 as per usual, 1 for each side of the roster. Once that field, those 7 participants, are determined, there will be 2 bomb ladder matches at our next Premium Live event. The bomb briefcase suspended over the ring. Whoever in both of those matches is the one to climb that ladder and retrieve the drama bomb will be able to, at any point, drop the bomb and challenge for one of the Sold Clout Championships. This is not a match that needs to be scheduled. If one of our champions has had a grueling match,
268 pounds, Steve Unpredictable Sparks.
as Sparks makes his way down to the ring, looking to not only further humiliate Kanias, but also earn his spot in that Drama Bomb match. But yes, let's say we saw it, that cage match, for example, where Abel Theron was able to escape after Brock failed to capture the Soul Clout Championship, a grueling match. Theron exhausted afterwards. Whoever has the Drama Bomb could drop it immediately after or even during that match, and that title match will begin immediately. It is a powerful tool in the arsenal for any clout chaser. One of these two men is going to be the first participant in that match. Will it be Chris Kanias? Will it be Steve Sparks? A very personal matchup now between these two. Grapples up. Kanias, the one to get the initial power exchange in his favor, ties Sparks up in the ropes. Bounces him off back into clubbing blows straight to the spine, lets him fall down, puts the boot in. Spinning back elbow, Kanias fired up out of the gate in this match. Up top and big leg drop. Again, that disregard for his own safety, in this case his own hips. Move like that does damage to him as well, but that was a impressive amount of weight dropping down onto the leg of Sparks, and there he goes over the top rope, flying down, hurling his own body around. Does not care, he just wants to inflict harm. Trying to take out now the arm of Steve Sparks, who rolls out of the way. Able to get a running elbow drop of his own in, sends Kanias down, blocks that attempt at a clothesline, slap across the chest, and now Sparks able to get back into control just a little bit here. Knee drop to the face of Kanias. And we could hear that metallic clank as Kanias' head bounced off of the rival announce table there. I, of course, announcing from back in the captain's office where it's nice and safe. I may be the most dashingly handsome pirate in all of professional wrestling, but I stay handsome by not getting close to that action. As you can tell, with Sparks now just trying to stomp the face off of Chris Kanias, who fires back up. Drags Sparks into a knee to the gut, pulls him back up, clubbing blow to the chest, wraps up and over. Suplex, it's still locked in. And boom, sends that down with a big clothesline. Is that going to be it? No, Sparks powers out through. It's going to take more than that to put the unpredictable Steve Sparks away. Kanias, though, clearly has something in mind to follow up with. What's he going to do here? I think he may be going for, yes, the Himbo driver. Is that going to take it out? Powerful exchange there. 1, 2. He did. He put Sparks away. What a showing by Kanias, though slipping further and further into that rage spiral. He scored the victory, but at what cost to his soul? isolating himself more and more from his friends, continuing down this path of anger and destruction. What cost does this path have for this pirate? But philosophical questions like that can wait, because we've got a triple threat match to get to. Our second qualifying match for the other Drama Bomb match will be up next, with that half of the roster having a few more folks on it. They're not all going to be singles matches. We are going to narrow the field with a triple threat match coming out right next. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with that.
That's how it works,
left,
right?
Like, that's how it works, yeah. Hi, I am Chris Kinnears, aka The Painting Pirate. He can pronouns, variety streamer, miniature painter, all kinds of nonsense. And I am playing Captain Tyrion's Guidal, the most dashingly handsome pirate in all of Norwood. And it has not escaped my notice that Captain is on Ink on Skin's art, but not on mine.
As
which
it
is
fucking should be, baby.
We are going. That is going to be addressed. That will not let slide.
Let's go. No.
Stop it. A synthetic Twitty.
Okay. So,
No. Stop. You can't. You can't do this to us anymore.
You are too powerful.
Alright, that's like too much
You know,
power
it's,
right
it's
now.
funnier because the transparent background didn't work.
It's really funny. Best clip, like 90s clip art ever.
Never said graphic art is my passion more.
I know. Holy shit.
So, here's the deal.
Hands who can't breathe.
Me.
Right.
Me. Oh.
Una deal. You would.
Is it hot in here? Is it just me?
Oh yeah. And, other captain. What was your initiative?
Other captain.
Not other
Primary captain, but 18.
Primary captain. Primary colors.
Look, before the end of this, it's going to be a PvP fight, and he's going to be an admiral because he's going to start taking people's ships.
He's about, no. Captain Ingon Skin's about to get murked by a Rakshasa. I'm fine. This is a problem that's solving
I don't
itself.
believe you.
It just
Violence.
just kind of
Captain
give a side
Violence.
glare.
I'm playing both teams. I play all teams. Let's go.
really do. This is you in real life, though, Syrup. This is why I say you should
Yeah, it
have
is.
fought.
Yeah, it is. I think
Don't call
I
me
was
out
about
like
to
the
say-
short.
Nope, too late.
I was about to do it anyway. I was coming for you.
I mean, that's why you're claiming you're a captain. You've just got endless ships.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Fucking. Wow.
I would like to give my advantage to Pirate for that one.
I approve.
You are
My fire,
the one.
desire. I don't know.
Believe.
This next line.
I don't know.
I want it that way.
Tell me why. I'm sorry, I got carried away.
This is the legendary action. I know words.
Oh my god. What?
Beautiful.
Who are you and what have you done to Chris? Oh no, that's definitely Chris.
So good, bro. So good.
So,
Can I like just step in and just be like, excuse me, somebody actually, there's this small gnome person that just appears, and as I need a moment to react to Pirate right now, it's just like, this is fucking Pulp Fiction, really? Anyway.
Yeah, did anybody see Tyrion with the scroll?
Yeah.
Where did that
okay,
go?
like,
Where did that go?
like I understand that, like, there's
So,
a
can we get
union for
a
a
runner?
y'all actor.
What? Why is there
I am so
The
happy.
hat
He's
is
a
amazing.
Thordak burner.
Yeah.
There you go. All right.
See, you may be the fur holder, but I
Nope.
am the captain. And snaps his fingers
Shut the fuck up.
to disintegrate the fur holder. Welcome back to Triple Threat Action, qualifying match for the Drama Bomb Premium Live event.
The following is a triple threat match. Making her way to the ring from Sin City, Banshee.
Starting out, Banshee looking to claim her spot in the Drama Bomb match. The three competitors in this match all have had a bit of a bad run of it of late, so it'll be interesting to see which comes out on top, and will this represent a shift in their fortunes. As Banshee gyrates her way down to the ring, joining her is her first of two opponents. Surya Violet.
From overseas, Violet.
A powerful competitor who as of yet has not been able to get much in the way of victory here. Frequently not through her own fault, involved in multi-competitor matches or tag matches where she has not been the one to take the loss, but also has not scored the victory herself either. This represents quite the opportunity for our Sun Soul Druid. Will this be the time at which Surya's sun starts to rise? And speaking of competitors who have a tendency to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory, she may have been our inaugural Soul Cloud champion, but it didn't last long, and has not had much luck ever since, her love for a brawl overtaking her love of actually winning. Mac and Banshee, of course, fought each other in Banshee's debut match, and were the opponents in the initial match for the Deadly Alliance, who got put away in that. One of these three will be taking the first slot in that Drama Bomb ladder match later on at our next Premium Live event. Mac trying to go for that power move. Surya able to... excuse me, I've lost my ability to speak. Able to slide her way out of that, but takes a DDT from Banshee. Mac then going for that quick strike. Ducks under an attempted retaliation by Banshee. Got stopped on the run through there by Surya, who is now back up to her feet. Grabs around the back and big jumping strike to Banshee. Mac taking the opportunity to get there on the distraction. Sends Surya hurtling to the outside and sends Banshee down, locking that armbar in. A rare moment of actual strategy there from Michaela Lane, but Saria Violet not distracted on the outside long enough to not come in and break up that submission attempt. Follows through, tries to capitalize on the damage done to Banshee by Mac. Mac, though, able to overpower the Monk. Ties her leg up in the rope there, while Banshee watches on, and a big spinning roundhouse kick from Banshee with those dangerous stiletto heel boots. Wraps into a neck breaker to Saria Violet, grapples up with Michaela, and spins around, and another spinning neck breaker from Banshee, but Saria is there waiting for retaliation and hoists her up, and the power of Saria Violet just plants Banshee down onto the canvas. Takes a back strike from Michaela. Duck, and we're back around, and Banshee attempted to go for a spin there, but both of her opponents dodged out of the way. Attempts to make it seem like that's what her intent was with that taunt, but Saria having absolutely none of it. Mac recovering on the outside as Saria puts the boots in. No disqualification in a triple threat match, so Mac immediately going for the weapon. I'm not surprised. I'm also not surprised that she immediately biffs it and drops it as Saria gets those strikes in. Duck by Banshee, able to get a quick chop strike to the throat of Saria. Is Mac going to go back for that weapon? Nope, she's going to forget all about it. Grapples up with Banshee, overhead snap suplex. Not able to score the pinfall. Saria right there. Hurls Michaela back into that corner. Runs around, and a big strike to Banshee as well. That kendo stick still sitting in the ring, just waiting for anyone to pick up and use. Bouncing off the ropes to get that kick into Banshee. Mac able to grapple on the counter. Big clothesline there by Michaela Lane. Knocks Saria down to the canvas. And hoists her up, just showing off the power now. Hoists up onto the shoulder and bounces Violet's throat off of that top rope. That was incredibly nasty. That's going to do some damage. Counter, a suplex attempt countered by Banshee, who's going for that pinfall. Saria outside, stunned. That may well be it. No, Mac able to power out. Saria now recovered, making her way back into the ring. Charges through. Clothesline to Banshee, sending her down. Locks up Michaela and Saria. Mac wins the power exchange. Hooks the arms and overthrew into a pinning predicament. Banshee not able to recover in time, but Saria still able to kick out, only at 1. Double kick strike from Mac. Those big kick offenses by Banshee and Saria, who is now just waiting for Mac to get back up. Ducks out of the way of that. Banshee taking a moment to cater to the crowd while her two opponents are going at it. Overstrike and double foot drop kick by Michaela Lane. Tries to take another one of those strikes from Banshee. Mac had that scouted for once, able to dodge out of the way. Not that one from Saria though. Mac rolls out of the ring to take a quick nap. Saria following up on her handiwork, meanwhile, taking advantage of Banshee being there in the corner. Banshee, though, able to power out, and those quick thrusts to the chops to the throat of Saria. Got a submission maneuver locked in. Mac able to come in and break that up. Elbows her way out of that grapple attempt. Banshee able to counter that one. Saria, meanwhile, holding herself back to her feet. Got that clutch locked in. Saria saying absolutely not going to let Mac tap out. Hurls Banshee off the rope and big knee strike to the face. Saria now the only one left standing. I think she's got her eyes on it. She's got that kendo stick. Finally, it is back in play. Waiting to see which opponent she's going to use it on. Looks like Michaela is the unlucky victim, and there it goes. Crack over the back of Mac Lane. Able to counter though, gets Saria to drop that. The kendo stick now once again in active play for somebody. And once again, Mac trying to go for that display of power, and her opponent just wriggles their way out of it and chop block to the leg to send them down. Saria rolls to the outside to recover for a moment while Banshee works over Mac in the middle of the ring. Saria now back in it. Watching what's going on, taking a moment to consider her strategy. Strategy didn't work out too well, unfortunately, for her. There, Banshee's got that clutch in again, but Mac now has her hands on that kendo stick. Thinks better of it. More important to break up that submission attempt and plants Banshee. This may be a moment of capitalization for Michaela, but no, Banshee able to power out barely at 2. Mac has a follow-up in mind. What's she waiting for Banshee to get back to her feet for? Not good enough. Banshee able to counter. And again, those quick thrusting chops to the throat of Mac Lane. Snap over, but Saria is back up and able to easily break up that pinfall. The damage mounts the longer this match goes on. And now the kendo stick once again back in the hands of Saria Violet. I think she damn near broke that over the head of Banshee. Vicious assault here by Saria Violet. Banshee, though, not having it. Got that roundhouse kick in there. Can Mac break the pinfall up in time? Barely. Mac barely saving the match for herself. Takes again that stretch for her trouble, but Saria able to get back to her feet just in time. And Banshee again locking a submission maneuver, this time on Saria, working over that left arm. Mac looks like she may well be down and out. Banshee now the only one of these three standing, and the kendo stick now returning the favor to the back spine of Saria Violet. Rolling out of the way of that final blow, but Mac's right there and just as good of a target. An absolute mugging by Banshee. Mac able to just sweep the leg out from under, drop the kendo stick and get through. Can she capitalize? Is this going to be a victory stolen by Michaela Lane? No, Banshee powers out. Saria now deciding there needs to be a little more variety in here. Another kendo stick brought into the equation. Stomp and whack. But now Mac hoisting Saria up. Bouncing her off the top rope. Double kendo stick in play. One in the hands of Michaela Lane. Cracks it over the gut of Saria Violet. Banshee, I don't think even knows where she is at this stage in the match. Saria helping to jog her memory. Oh, going for an elbow drop. Banshee able to dodge out of the way. Not able to land the clothesline, however. Limb manipulation by Banshee, cracking that wrist. That left arm of Saria Violet is taking quite some damage now. Wrenches, look at that, wrenching the kendo stick away from Michaela Lane to use it against her in turn and continuing through. Twirling and crack right over the backside. Mac taking an absolute spanking right now. She's down, not out just yet. Saria able to break that shift in momentum. Mac back up, powering herself up, slaps to her own face on the outside. Overarm drag from Saria Violet. Mac's now back in the ring, takes a kick to her face for her troubles, followed by a backhand strike. Saria now once again dominant. Wrenching the arm around of Michaela Lane. Banshee slowly forming her way back to her feet. And there is that submission maneuver locked in once again. She has to tap. Too much done. Saria Violet taps out. Banshee takes the match. What a hard-hitting affair between all three of these competitors. That is how you score the victory in a match like this, though. Saria, finally, the damage picking up.
Here is your winner, Banshee!
Well, with that, Banshee takes her first, the first slot in the Drama Bomb match. 6 other slots to be filled. Of course, those submission maneuvers won't help her in that type of match. Gotta climb the ladder and claim the case. We have 2 more matches, though, in tonight's show. 2 title defenses. And we'll be right back with the first of those after these quick messages. We'll be right back.
Luz tried everything to open the door, but it wouldn't budge. Hammers, axes, magic, saws, more magic, fire, even more magic, and magic explosions. Still, the door refused her. Why? After all this time and effort, why wouldn't the damn thing open? Sure, it was an enchanted door that would open the path to a potentially catastrophic amount of magic pouring back into the universe, causing endless natural disasters that would drown or bury most cities from existence. But there was an equally high chance that wouldn't happen, and that the magic had been sealed away by ignorant fools for nothing. She had to believe there was a reason why she could tap into a sliver of the magic locked behind the door. That this was it, her singular life purpose. Open the door. Restore its magic back to everyone like it used to be in the stories, where anyone could use magic, for good or bad. That had to be it, right? That had to be why she was standing here, in the door's pocket dimension, on a small plot of Earth, large enough for only one person to stand in front of it, swearing at this void black door with iridescent veins flowing along its surface like water, living, taunting her to just open it already. So why was it so hard to swing the damn thing wide? Somehow, she had shoved the door apart just a crack ages ago. A thin, wispy line of light seeped out of a seam down the center. Whenever she used teleportation magic, as she had decided to call it since she didn't know the correct term and hadn't seen others use it before, probably because it was dangerous and required sliding through space and time, but who was counting? She tapped into a sliver of warmth and power to travel wherever she wished. She'd managed that slight opening unthinking as a child, then never again. What was she doing wrong now? Worse, what if she wasn't doing anything wrong? What if this door wasn't meant to open for her after all? What else could there be for her but this? After everything, after all that searching, what else could there be?
This has been an extract from The Void Door by V.M. Ayala. To read the full story, please visit beneath-ceaseless-skies.com and search for issue 378. And thank you for watching Masterpiece Theatre.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the Internet's Honor Championship.
She earned this shot last week. Aria Night Valley. Been on quite the tear of late, but about to run into the human brick wall that is Jennifer Astoria. Jennifer is not going to want to give up that first ever championship that she has scored here in AIW. She is going to want to hold on to all the clout she can. Our escaped Winter Court Fae Princess. A technical specialist, Aria has been adept at utilizing her opponent's weaknesses to her advantage. But the powerhouse offense of Jennifer Astoria is not the type of competitor she's really run into her. Still though, Jennifer has demonstrated in the past she can sometimes get that rage up. She can become very single-minded when she's bludgeoning an opponent, and that's the type of moments that Aria Night Valley has proven herself to be talented at capitalizing on. And there it is around the waist of Jennifer. That's what it's all about. The $1 Shillion Championship. Jennifer returning to the AIW ring after spending this week fighting her way through the legions of hell itself. She is more than ready for this fight.
Introducing the challenger from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Lady Winters.
Aria is hyped up. This is the biggest shot she's got.
From parts unknown, she is the Internet's Honor Champion, Jen.
Yep, that's me, says Jen. Bask in my glory. One of these two walking out here with that title belt. Will it be Jennifer, or will Aria score the victory and claim her first championship title here in All Influencer Wrestling? She is coming out of the gate hot. Knocks Jennifer down and going with those quick strikes, but Jennifer hip toss to counter. And just the disrespectful taunting as if to say, the best you've got. But you can't underestimate Aria Night Valley. She is going flying courtesy of Jennifer Astoria. I think Jennifer wanted to see how well those wings work. Just waiting, baiting Aria to get back into the ring, not even following her through. Aria clubs through, tries to lift and slams down. lifting Jeneth off her feet. That has to be something of a shock for Astorio. And charging down through, almost breaking Aria in half. Ducks through, strikes down, knocks her down to the canvas. Knee strikes. That winter magic infused power for Aria, allowing her to hoist Jeneth into the air, but taking a moment to bask in, and really now about to regret that, I think. Jeneth just hauls Aria up over their shoulders, carrying her all the way across the ring, and bounces her face off of that corner turnbuckle. And put all of that weight down onto the arm, firing up Jeneth Astorio. Grapples once again and hoists Aria over with that overhead suplex. Clubs down to the canvas. Aria takes that moment to escape to the outside to try and recover for a moment. The two trying to grapple, neither getting quite purchase on the other. Jeneth eventually winning the exchange and just sends Aria up into the air and crashing down to the mat. 1, 2, Aria able to kick out. Jeneth can't quite believe it. So in go the boots. Knee strike to the face. Pulls Aria back up, and another big strike. Though there's that technical expertise of Aria Night Valley, able to very quickly turn the momentum around, grappling around the waist. Jeneth crashing down to the floor. Aria, very quick change in momentum there. Can she capitalize? Can she keep this going? Leg drag sends Jeneth down middle of the ring, and she's wrenching that leg around, really trying to work over the legs of Jeneth at this point. We've seen her utilize the roll up. Ref, what are you doing? Jeneth, Jeneth had that 3 count. The ref there just sort of getting confused. I don't think he realized that Aria's shoulders were on the mat. Jeneth furious, incensed after that. And there's that draping foot strike we've seen to such great effect from Aria before. Drags Jeneth down on the side of the ring, and again trying to chalk up damage to the leg of Jeneth Astorio. We've seen Aria utilize that figure 4 leg lock multiple times before to score a victory. I think that may be the strategy she's trying to employ here by weakening the legs of Jeneth. A tap-out victory over this opponent would certainly be an incredible way to score that title for Aria. Of course, champions invited, she cannot win that title if she gets counted out. As she now makes her way back into the ring where Jeneth has recovered. Big scoop slam by Astorio. Pulls Night Valley back to her feet once again. Knee strikes to the gut. Jeneth furious, knowing she should have had that match won. Fired up. Aria ducks out of the way of that clothesline attempt. Hoists Astorio up and over. Winter magic flowing through the veins of Aria Night Valley. Trying to reposition Jeneth to the middle of the ring. Club blow to the gut. Jeneth powering back out. Tying Night Valley up into the ring post. Oh, no. Never mind. Jeneth just hurling to the outside. Are we going to see? We are up and over. Aerial offense by Jeneth Astorio, crashing onto the prone body of Aria Night Valley. Aria incensed now. Yelling furious as Jeneth crawls her way back to her feet. Blocks that attempt there by Night Valley and crack down to the ship's decking she goes. Reversal by Night Valley. Kick to the gut on Astorio. Sent her back into that ring again. A count-out victory will mean Jeneth retains. Has to be pinfall or submission in the ring for the title to change hands. Sends Jeneth into the turnbuckle. Strike to the face. And goes up top. Oh, Jeneth rolls out of the way, but continues through. Bounces, lands that strike. 1, 2. Barely. My God, I could have sworn we had a new champ at that moment. Jeneth 2.999. Aria continuing, not losing up any momentum. That has to do it. No, again, Jeneth will not stay down. Fight forever, says the crowd, and if Jeneth has anything to say about it, that is exactly what might happen. Bounces off. Ref is down. Jeneth caught the ref as well with that strike. Leg drop onto Aria. Ref is back up. Oh, what does Jeneth have in mind here? Just hoisting Aria. Ref, get out of the way, we can't see. She's got a submission maneuver locked in, doing a ton of damage. The neck is an ungodly position. Will Aria tap? Can she power through? She is able to just get that momentum shift just enough to allow Jeneth to power through under her own weight, but back in control, hoists her around like a sack of potatoes. Jeneth now just waiting, taunting Aria over that rope as she goes to the top herself. What does Jeneth have in mind here? Crashing, giant elbow drop, falls balls, what an impact. Waiting for Aria to get back up. Giant kick and up and big slam through into the pinfall. 2. Aria kicks out. Aria still somehow digging deep, able to find some way, some reserve left in her to power through and kick out. Jeneth sending her face first, smashing down into the canvas. Repeat performance does it again, and from the height of Jeneth, that does significant damage. Jeneth furious. Aria rolling out to the ring, desperate to try and recover. Kick to the gut, strike, drop kick. Fired up. Jeneth is on an absolute tear right now. Just taunting over the prone body of Aria Night Valley. Able to get that leg hook though, sends Jeneth crashing down to the ship's deck. Lock up and hoists her up, and my god, where is she finding the power to do that? Sends Jeneth bouncing off of the hardest part of the ring. Returning her own disrespect, but Jeneth right back up, hoists Aria back into the ring. Joins herself. Jeneth could have baited the count-out victory. Decides against it. Up and slam. Giant Diablo slam from Jeneth. Goes for the pin. That has to be it this deep into the match. 1, 2. And there it is. Jeneth Astorio retains with the Diablo slam. There we saw that grapple the moment Aria started to shift the match into her favor. And we saw it rolling out of the way, that maneuver off of the top rope. Not enough to put Jeneth away though, and there it is, the slam that ends it. Diablo slam, 1, 2, 3. Jeneth Astorio galvanizes her reign as the $1 Shillion champion. Taking that title right back to further fight the legions of hell. I don't know how we're going to follow a match like that, but if anyone's going to be capable of it, it's our next two competitors. Abel Theron, Soul Clout champion, defends against his rival, his opponent who won this title shot in a tag match last week. Abel Theron versus Renace Crimson. We'll be right back for our main event after these short messages. Hi, I'm Captain Turiant Guidel, most dashingly handsome pirate in all of Lumsalaminsa, and the Clout Missioner of all Influencer Wrestling. As a swashbuckling pirate, I know a thing or two about hats. And sometimes, even I feel the hats I own are just too big. So when I feel the need for minuscule millinery, there's only one place that comes to mind. tinyhatlabs.com. Tiny Hat Labs have always sought to push the boundaries of what's possible in client engagement millinery feedback solutions. Their guiding question remains the same today as it was when they were founded. What if small hat, but tiny? Operating at the nexus of science, engineering, artificial intelligence, art, fashion and design, Tiny Hat Labs seeks to pave the way to a paradigm shift in headpiece technology. While others ask, how much? tinyhatlabs.com asks, how little? I'm Captain Turiant Guidel, and tinyhatlabs.com is my favourite place for hats on the internet.
Luz tried everything to open the door, but it wouldn't budge. Hammers, axes, magic, saws, more magic, fire, even more magic, and magic explosions. Still, the door refused her. Why? After all this time and effort, why wouldn't the damn thing open? Sure, it was an enchanted door that would open the path to a potentially catastrophic amount of magic pouring back into the universe, causing endless natural disasters that would drown or bury most cities from existence. But there was an equally high chance that wouldn't happen, and that the magic had been sealed away by ignorant fools for nothing. She had to believe there was a reason why she could tap into a sliver of the magic locked behind the door. That this was it, her singular life purpose. Open the door. Restore its magic back to everyone like it used to be in the stories, where anyone could use magic, for good or bad. That had to be it, right? That had to be why she was standing here, in the door's pocket dimension, on a small plot of earth large enough for only one person to stand in front of it, swearing at this void black door with iridescent veins flowing along its surface like water, living, taunting her to just open it already. So why was it so hard to swing the damn thing wide? Somehow, she had shoved the door apart just a crack ages ago. A thin, wispy line of light seeped out of a seam down the centre. Whenever she used teleportation magic, as she had decided to call it since she didn't know the correct term and hadn't seen others use it before, probably because it was dangerous and required sliding through space and time, but who was counting? She tapped into a sliver of warmth and power to travel wherever she wished. She'd managed that slight opening unthinking as a child, then never again. What was she doing wrong now? Worse, what if she wasn't doing anything wrong? What if this door wasn't meant to open for her after all? What else could there be for her but this? After everything, after all that searching, what else could there be?
This has been an extract from The Void Door by V.M. Ayala. To read the full story, please visit beneath-ceaseless-skies.com and search for issue 378. And thank you for watching Masterpiece Theatre.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the prestigious Internet Championship.
Welcome back for our main event. Making his way to the ring, our challenger, Renace Crimson. Won this opportunity after a tag match in which he partnered with Blix to take on the team of Abel Theron and Mary last week. A somewhat contentious decision after the match ended in disqualification, but nonetheless, the result stands. Renace gets his shot at that Sold Clout Championship. Having put the rivalry with the Golden Ticket in the rearview mirror, though seemingly potentially at the cost of a friendship, if he can get that clout around his waist, surely that will go some way to easing that sting for Renace Crimson. And here is our Sold Clout champion, the Dreamer, Abel Theron. Able to continue his reign after defeating the Giant, the Gardener Brock, in a cage match of all things. There is a strong size disparity between Theron and Renace, but as we have seen time and time again, the size of his opponent does not matter to the Dreamer. He has held that title since day one here in AIW. Will the dream continue for Abel Theron, or is Renace Crimson going to turn it into a nightmare?
Introducing the challenger from London, England, weighing in at 242 pounds, Reynolds Crimson. And his opponent from Avalon, weighing in at 150 pounds, he is the prestigious Internet Champion, The Dream.
Keeping an eye on his clout, he does not want to give any of that up. Renace, though, he wants it all for himself. You know that's what it's all about here in AIW. The clout is the ultimate goal. Nothing more important in the world today. As they lock up in the middle of the ring, Renace immediately hot out the gate. Strike, strike, kick, kick, kick. Sends Theron down to the mat. Of course, as we have seen multiple times tonight, a strong opener does not correspond to a definite victory, but Renace out the gate got now the submission locked in. Theron able to reverse the pressure though. Now Renace the one in peril. Can he make his way towards he able is to power out. Did not need to make it to the rope break, able to slip out. There though is that technical expertise of Abel Theron. Renace knows well that is what he has to do in this match. He cannot give Theron an opportunity to try and reverse momentum, to use Renace's own physicality against him. Unfortunately, it does seem like that is exactly what Renace has allowed to happen, as Theron is now the one in control. Took a moment to fire up, took a running knee to it for his troubles. One kick out at one. Renace now taking the moment to taunt Theron. Tried to go for the grapple, but simply outpowered by Crimson, who sends him up and over, crashing down to the canvas. Theron rolling all the way out, needing that moment to recover. Renace with that giant roar. Up and over, crashes down into Abel Theron. That is a huge, massive humanity to come crashing onto the neck of the Dreamer. Backsplash. And now just punching him into the face. Renace as if saying, you want to be a dreamer? How's about you go to sleep? Hauls Theron back into the ring. Again, as with the last match in this one, champion's advantage, it cannot end via count out and a title change. If Renace wants to capture that Soul Clout title, it has to be in the ring via pinfall or submission. Should there be a count-out ending, regardless of who the victor is, that title remains around the waist of Abel Theron. And smash down he goes. Is that going to do it? 2. No. Theron able to power out. Just gets that shoulder up. Renace, though, not letting any momentum go. Hauls him up. Suspended and into that pile driver, dropping Theron down onto his neck, but Renace 2 head up, did not realize his ring positioning. Rope break by Theron. Trying to manipulate now the limbs of the Dreamer. And then back to just crashing down with that body weight onto the spine of Abel Theron. Hauls him back up and leg sweep. Theron says absolutely not. Renace says absolutely yes. Spinning elbow. Kick to the face allows Theron a moment to recover. Tries to cut down the legs and then big chops. Able to get Renace off balance, tie him up into the ropes. Though Renace revert. What does Theron have in mind here? Up and giant Incredibly athletic head scissors takedown there by Abel Theron. What athleticism from our champion. And again, head scissors sending Renace down to the mat. This is where Theron is at his strongest, using that momentum, using gravity to his own advantage. Running clotheslines, taking advantage of the flat-footedness of Renace, not letting him get his center of gravity back. He needs to keep this going, keep the larger man staggered, keep him wavering, keep him unable to find that solid center of gravity and plant himself. And that seems to be exactly what Abel is doing right now. Vaults just over the top. And just showing off at this point. And bounce and big splash. Renace, though, able to dodge out of the way. Gets a clothesline. Didn't get all of it. And there again, those powerful head scissors of Abel Theron. This is his go-to maneuver. Renace kicking out at 2. It's going to take more than that. And there he goes, up and down he goes. Is that going to continue the dream? 1, 2, I think I might have done it. He's done it. He's put Renace away. Once again, he pulls the dream out of a nightmare. Abel Theron continues his reign. Sold Clout Championship continues undefeated with that belt. What a showing by the Dreamer. Retains.
Here is your winner.
Of course, this is a good time to remind you all.
Champion,
After a hard-hitting match like that, after the drama bomb matches conclude, whoever holds that bomb case would be potentially able to run in at this point and cash that in, drop that drama bomb, and trigger a match immediately, causing Abel to have to defend it after taking a beating like that. That is why the drama bomb is going to be so powerful. 7 slots in each of those matches, 2 done tonight. Chris Caneas and Banshee both taking a slot in those. We have 6 more slots to fill in both of those matches. Who is it going to be? We'll find out more of those as we get more qualifying matches here next week on All Influencer Wrestling. I've been the Clout Missioner, Captain Tyrion Guidal, and as always, remember to stay #out for Clout. We'll see you back next week. Take care.